Under.
All right. Michigan State and Nebraska. Nebraska 10.5-point home favorites, 53 the total here in this game. Both of these teams are off bye weeks, so there's no advantage there. Nebraska 30-27 loss at home against Michigan before the bye week, and Michigan State a 45-31 loss on the road at USC before the bye week. So we'll see what happens here between these two teams. Dylan Raiola and the Nebraska offense, I thought they played solid against Michigan. Raiola had 308 through the air. I think it was one of his better games against a pretty good Michigan team. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. The run game kind of struggled. Definitely struggled. They couldn't run the football against Michigan. But Raiola was pretty good in the passing game. Michigan State I think Aiden Childs is actually getting better and better, and the offense has capability. Childs was very good against USC. They've got some receivers, Amari Kelly, Krishan McRae. Both had big games against USC. They are scoring points most weeks, Michigan State, but boy, that defense is still very rough. They scored 42 against Boston College, but gave up 40. They scored 41 against Youngstown State, but gave up 24. And then, of course, they scored 31 against USC in that late Saturday night game 2 weeks ago, but give up 45. So this to me is an over. I mean, I think, and don't forget, Nebraska's picked up the tempo just a little bit this year with the first full season with Dana Holgerson as the offensive coordinator. So Nebraska is playing just with a little bit more pace and a little bit more tempo this year compared to years past. And then meanwhile, Michigan State, they are not they play slow, but they've been very explosive on offense. They've been efficient. They've been able to score points, against the majority of teams that they have played so far this season. So I think this game probably finds its way over 53 between these two teams. I ain't laying 10.5 with Nebraska. I know the Michigan State defense is pretty porous, and Nebraska could have a field day against it. But this is one of these games that feels like even if Nebraska gets a lead, the back door is wide open. Because I don't think Nebraska's defense has been great at times. Certainly struggled with Michigan. And I like what I'm seeing from Aiden Childs and the Spartans offense, that this back door could be open. So I lean to the Spartans at plus 10.5, but I like this over most of all. CMAC, Michigan State, Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, is this the best defense Michigan State's going to play so far? Maybe. But I don't know how really good Nebraska is. They are at home. And I think it's a game, Nebraska wins. There's just no way. 10.5. I'm taking Michigan State and Smith here. They're just as dogs. These games are always close between these two. And I don't buy Nebraska is any better. We just saw them against Michigan. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. Now they are off the bye. They're back here at home. But zero trust in Matt Rule laying points, even against a Michigan State team that I think is down a little bit. And they have problems with their defense, and it shows through the numbers. But dog here, Michigan State, I'll take them.
So I've got Matt Rule at 1-3 against the spread last year as a Big Ten favorite in conference play, a Big Ten favorite. 1-3 against the spread he was last year. And obviously this is the first time he's been a Big Ten favorite this year.
Yeah.
Obviously they were
double digit too.
Yeah. And double digits.
Both these teams, they got a bunch of injuries too. Go through them a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
The week.
Yeah. Definitely that's something to keep an eye on. Those, some of those injuries, no doubt.